this live at?
Yeah, I'm checking your page too right now, trying to
If
refresh
it's
it.
not on there, hold on. I may have done it to the wrong. Oh, there it is. It's there.
Oh, there it is right there. There
Okay.
it is right there. Let's see.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna do some sharing, and then we'll go ahead and get started.
No problem.
Y'all come on in. Good evening. Good evening. Please share this. This is going to be important stuff tonight. As we talk about something that's really been on my mind and heart concerning musicians all across this country, musicians, especially in my area, the DMV area. I am here with um, Maurice Hunt. He's a church musician. You also a preacher too, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
The Elder
Yes,
Maurice
sir.
Hunt is a church musician, New Community Church of God in Christ here in Charles County, Maryland
That's
area.
right.
He's also has a
Yes.
second. He also has a second career as an insurance broker. And we both have been talking for a couple of weeks about musicians, insurance. I know since we started the Musicians and Singers Fellowship here in the DC area, um, it's been a burden on my heart every time somebody passed away, especially a
Mm,
musician and or a singer, and we're trying to take up an
yeah.
offering, trying to pay for their funeral. Because they may not have had the knowledge or the wherewithal to set up certain things before they passed away.
Yeah.
We often run into the burden of trying to help somebody to bury their loved one. Um, and of course, just planning for the future, being young to even being my age now, trying to make sure that we have things secure for our lives so that when we get older, we'll be able to take care of ourselves. So, Maurice, thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you for having me.
I guess, talk about um, what it is you do and what you're able to do for musicians. And then we'll just start to dive into scenarios.
All right. So, Philip, I was listening to you. I was trying to share to everybody this post and I thank God for you for allowing me this opportunity just to share. And but again, I am a preacher's son first and foremost. Of course, with a lot of musicians, started off playing the drums. Went from being kicked off the drums because I was kind of hogging it, and my brother got on the drums. And then after that, I just at that time I was what 12, 13 years old. And for me, I kind of wanted to stay busy. I didn't want to just sit in church and just clap my hands. So there was a bass guitar sitting upstairs of our church, and I went upstairs and got that guitar, learned how to play that. And then a bass guitarist came, got kicked off of that. And then I picked up the piano. And from there, I was able to not only just play the piano, but I picked up the organ. So I'm coming to you as a musician, and I'm coming to you as a preacher's son. Now, at this point, now I'm in my early 40s now, and I'm out with Philip Carter in the Southern Maryland region, and out here proclaiming Christ. Not as an evangelist, going out into the streets hard, talking to people to the hedges and the highways, and then coming back and serving in the church regarding being an elder and filling in to playing the organ or the piano or whatever is needed. Whatever my hand find enough to do, I was able to do that. And then on the outside, I started a community choir, Sounds of the DMV Mass Choir, and I'm working on my second project. So, in regards to musicianship, I kind of have a little bit of experience starting there. I got into doing life insurance about 4 years ago because outside of that, I started to see a number of my colleagues all across the United States pass away. And I had just finished my government contracting job, which allowed me the opportunity to go and get my insurance license. And I was able to do insurance for at least going on 5 years now. And now it's went from a job is now a ministry, is now a real ministry. To now see that I can walk into my fellow musicians, my fellow singers, to the pastors, bishops, apostles, and whatever other levels that the Lord has uh, elevated you, I'm able to walk into that home and be able to serve our church community. But tonight, I'm really want to speak to my fellow musicians, both far and near, about the importance of having some life insurance, the importance of talk about retirement and savings, and just looking out for your kids and your loved ones.
Well, thanks for joining us, y'all. We're here with Maurice Hunt. Please share this. Let folks know, whether they see it tonight or tomorrow, that we're on talking about insurance. Tell me about the importance of musicians having insurance. We make what I call doctors and lawyers type money. We can make $300, $400, $500 in 1 hour.
Yeah.
We're used to fast money. We never think that we're ever going to run out of money, or that money's ever going to get short, or that we're never going to be able to find a gig to make up
Yeah.
whatever shortage we have. But we're coming to this point now, especially I'm 45, and I'm in my age group from 45 to 60. We're starting to see, we're not the hottest thing on the market anymore. And so, we have to be mindful about insurance and looking at ways to protect ourselves when it's time to retire. And for people who are younger than me, like, let's say 21 to 40, they need to be thinking about the fact that even though they're hot right now, they're not going to be hot later on down the road. And so insurance will play a big part in securing yourselves when, the mega church may be looking to the next young musician to hire, and you may have to go to a lesser paying job. And then, that insurance can kick in and really help you out. So what kind of policies do you all offer? Give me some scenarios in which you could help people, or which musicians can tap into some insurance.
All right. So that's very broad, but let me give you uh I want to try to break it up in sections because I do
That's
not want to
fine.
bore everyone on there. But insurance is first and foremost is used to basically take care of the family in the event of a loss of a loved one. Okay, it's, and I'm going to try to talk as a musician in this aspect. I've been called plenty of times to go and sit into a funeral. I may or may not know the family, but I know my rate of how much I'm charging to sit at a funeral for 30, 45, maybe an hour. All right. And it is a couple $100 or more. All right. Whether if I know you or not. So imagine you are a family member that has insurance, they have coverage, they were able to pay for burial, they've been able to pay for their plots, they'll be able to pay for the casket. Now they may or may not will be able to pay for the church. Some are members ever since the infancy of the church, and some are members where they may have access to a free service at the church because they're a member. But in most cases, they're either having services where they may have to pay the church or pay a funeral home. So you have to have money to do that, and that's what insurance would do. A couple dollars a month. I'm kind of dumbing it down, but a few dollars a month will help to lighten up the load. All right, for your family to take care of those costs of being buried. Now, that is a subject that nobody likes to talk about. All right, this is a subject we don't like to talk about, but at least take 30 minutes, an hour to talk to a representative to get this done. Insurance is also goes broad beyond just death. You can use your insurance, and I have great news to tell you, Mr. Carter. You and everyone that's watching can use your insurance for different things. You can use it for if you become critically ill, chronically ill, or terminally ill. You can use your insurance policy to help pay for any medical expenses. If if you're concerned about retirement, and you hit it on the head earlier, we're musicians going in playing 5 or 6 church services. I'm exaggerating, but that's how I am. We play about 3 to 4 church services a Sunday. All right.
Right.
At a minimum, $100. I remember there was a Facebook post and we had talked about it. The musicians will either play for $100 or more, but let's just dumb it down. $100 a service. what are you at least doing with at least 100 of that of those dollars? If you're going out playing multiple gigs, can you use some of that money for your retirement? And that's what your insurance policy can do. You can use it for retirement. You can use it as assets to buy homes, to buy cars, if done right. So you can use insurance for a lot of things. So I'm very excited to share
Can I
on
also
that.
have a cash policy? Can I do a cash
Yes,
policy too?
yes. So you can use your insurance policy as insurance. You can use your insurance policy as in any event, in the event that you do have any physical or chronically or terminally ailments. You can be able to use that, and then your insurance also builds cash value if you choose to do a whole life policy. All right. Now, the services that I offer that you also asked in that broad question, I do offer term insurance. Term insurance is just having insurance for a certain time. All right. I normally call it rental insurance. Okay. You can just go and rent insurance for at least 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, if you choose to do so. We also have whole life policies, which your policy is yours and it will last you your whole life, typically for 120 years old. And those particular policies, you grow cash. So every time you pay into your policy, you're earning money in your policy. So you're earning cash that you can withdraw at later times and use it for whatever you want.
Y'all,
So
we're here with insurance broker Maurice Hunt. We're talking about church musicians and insurance planning for now and the future. And you are really, really offering us some valuable advice. I want to encourage you all to please share this broadcast.
please,
We really want to close the gap of knowledge in terms of musicians knowing about the future, knowing about what they can do right now. Even I mentioned cash value policies. That was something I knew about a while back ago. Wish I had taken more advantage of it. But you can do insurance like you do the stock market. You can stock up that money, pull it out when you
yeah,
need to. Of course, there's stipulations. There's always particulars to everything that you do, and we don't want to get into a whole bunch of particulars because it's a case by case basis. But
yes,
the moral of the story is that you need insurance. I need
yeah,
insurance. We need to
yes,
plan for the future and stop being so ignorant about thinking that this thing is going to last forever. We're in the midst of this coronavirus.
mm,
And churches are counseling services. Some are going online. Some are going to be utilizing their musicians still. Some of them will give the musicians off. Some of us are on salary. Some of us are 1099 getting paid per service. There's a
yeah,
lot going on. Some of these situations are going to be just the organist and no drummer, no bass player, no lead player. There's a lot going on. What do we
yeah,
do when we take these losses? Now, let me give y'all a personal testimony. I work for Georgetown University. I'm a 1099 contractor for Georgetown University. When Georgetown announced yesterday that they were closing the school for online classes, I lost thousands of dollars just because when they made that announcement, because I work at Georgetown until May and then come back in September. So if I didn't have a nest egg saved up, if I didn't have things, emergency situations together to cover myself in the event of these losses, it would be no way I could function. And I know some of you all are in this same boat. You can now, you do the best you can with this situation, but the next time this comes up, you can be prepared and not be in a panic about what's going on, with these crises that happen, and we're in the midst of one. But I want to make sure that the next time this happens, you'll be sitting pretty in your house like, hey, when the storm is over, I'll still be standing. And so Maurice, you want to speak to that?
sure. I want to try to. I want the God to anoint my mouth to give good examples without, because I don't want to give y'all insurance jargon. All right. But I'm just trying to put myself in situations or use examples that kind of we can relate, us as musicians can relate. First and foremost, with all the money that the Lord is allowing our gifts to make, are we saving anything? Are
My
we
God.
putting I mean, it's sad for you to make two, three, $400, and you don't have you're not even tithing yourself. All right. If you're like that believes in tithing, but you're at least not putting 10 to 50% of that money that you're making all day. Um, so you want to get in the mindset of putting money up. You want to get in the mindset of getting a life insurance policy also, especially for the young musicians. And when I mean young, those that at least have at least 15 more years or more of time that they can save up to where their life insurance policies can be used as a retirement vehicle. Right now, what is my concern, because I'm still young, but my parents are enjoying Social Security. I don't know if it's going to be there
Right.
10, 15 years. So you don't want to be that musician that said, man, I'm now 60 years old. It is now the year 2030 or the 2040. I'm 50, 60 years old. And they've done away with Social Security. And I still got to work. And all that time, I blew all that money away, and I could have put it into a vehicle that could have now helped me to sustain my household.
Right.
So you want to have those type of avenues available. Um, and another concern of mine is all of us, like you said earlier, have lost musicians. And when a musician dies or a singer dies, and I got to be honest with you, we get up on Facebook and we try to be the first to say something. All right. Oh my God. Please, Lord, why? And then we go in your comments, ask what's up. Don't ask no questions. You don't need to know. You just need to pray. All right. And then only to find out 20 minutes later that a famous musician or a well-known musician within the area passed away. My question is for us, some of those musicians that passed away, when was the last time you checked on their spouses? When was the last time you checked on their kids? Did you contribute any money 3 or 4 years later after their passing to make sure the kids are straight?
Right.
So insurance is important. You just need insurance because it first and foremost, you don't have to worry about when your family passes away, they all of a sudden got to come up with $10,000, especially in Maryland, DC, and Virginia. The average funeral for a good quality funeral is between 15 to 20,000.
Right.
So, does any of your current family members right now, if you were to pass away today due to the Rona or due to an accident while you're going to your next gig, or you may go to sleep and you pass away in your sleep, does your family have $15,000 right now to take care of your expenses? So that is something that's needed, that we need to talk about. We had one famous musician. I'm trying to be careful, but he lost his life. I mean, he was leaving a gig and he was confronted by an off-duty cop, and he didn't
Mm.
make it home. He was doing the same thing that me and you and all of us do. We go to gigs, but his night, uh, that night was his last night. I don't know if the family had insurance or not.
Mm.
All right. I don't know if they had to raise money. I don't know all the details, but you don't want to put your family in that situation when all you have to do is put a little bit of that gig money uh, to the side to make sure that your family is straight. And
Well,
then you go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, no,
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to disrupt you.
Mm.
So the average musician, how much time do I need to put into a policy to really reap from it in terms of years? I know it's a case by case basis and how much money I have to put in there, but let's just say, let me just take a figure. Okay, I make $300 a service. Um, I can afford to put away $50 out of every check I get for $300.
Well,
How many years would I need to do that before I can start seeing some real return?
unfortunately, there is no answer that I can definitive answer. With insurance, your health is your credit
Hmm.
and your age is your credit.
Oh
All
boy,
right.
say
What do you
that
mean?
again. Say that again.
Your health is your credit and your
Uh,
age is your credit. All right. So in the world of insurance, the healthier you are and the younger you are, the cheaper you will be.
Mm.
All right. The older you are, most likely you got some health challenges. All right. Especially for those starting at 35 and up, start accumulating diabetes, high blood pressure, and cancer and everything else. As you get older, the prices go up. More like saying the more you wait, the more you're going to pay when you really decide to make that decision to get something. So when we look at some of the musicians that I helped go support in regards to just sitting around listening, a lot of them are in their early 20s, late 30s, between that age. So around $50 can get them either a term policy that will at least have them to get them something, or that $50 can give them a low cost whole life policy, but something is better than nothing. So you use $50 as example. There are those musicians that are able to just say, hey, Maurice, I'm doing about 3 or 4 shows or gigs a week. I'm playing for my home church, and then I got to turn around and I got to play for 11 o'clock service, then turn around, I got a 2 o'clock service, turn around, I got 400. I can put away $100 for a life insurance policy, and maybe have about 50,000, 75,000, or 100,000, depending on the age. So it's all contingent on your age and it contingent on your health. That is the game of insurance.
Y'all hear that? You hear the kind of numbers he was talking about just now? Almost made my head turn up. If you could put up that kind of money, you start at 20, 25, and that's not to mention if you decide to get into other business ventures like real estate or the stock market, just to have the insurance to the side is just major, especially when it comes to, unforeseen circumstances like this circumstance we got in now with this coronavirus and churches counseling service, and we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Every day it gets a little bit more uncertain as to what's going to happen. So please share this broadcast. We want young musicians to know that it's a good time for you right now to get started, and the younger the better. He said that your age is your credit, so the younger the better. And and if you're my age and you're healthy, you have a reasonable a better than reasonable portion of health and strength, you can still take advantage of an insurance policy, something that will secure the next 15 to 20 years for you.
Now you did say your age, right? How
Huh?
old are you?
I'm
How old are you?
45.
Oh man, please! Even at your age, you're still looking at less than $100 for a good amount of life insurance, and you're
Wow.
still young yourself, Philip Carter. As 45 years old, you still got about another 15 years that if you want to put money away, we have insurance vehicles that can help you out with your retirement.
Right. Right.
All right.
Well, I appreciate you telling me that. I might take
Yes,
advantage. I do currently have insurance set aside for things outside of my job,
that's
just to
another
kind of
good
make
point.
sure, that things are taken care of if something should happen to me, because I'm the sole worker in my household, and so it's important that we do that for those musicians who have families, and you
Oh yeah,
work a full-time job. It's still a good idea to have another insurance policy set
yeah.
aside to kind of help with some additional things, especially for those of y'all who carry extra debt, dealing with music studios, dealing with record labels. I own a record label, 2 record labels, and so all these things can come about when you die, hidden expenses and hidden bills and things like that your spouse may or family member may have to deal with. Your insurance can take care of that. We never know when the Lord is going to call us home. We never know when we might get into a serious accident or be incapacitated in such a way. I have a friend of mine right now who's really struggling with his health, and and I'm praying for him, and a lot of other people who know who he is praying for him. But insurance can really help out. Would have been able to help out his situation if he had it. So we never know when these things are going to happen to us. We never know when the church is going to dismiss us for whatever reason. Come on,
Yeah,
come on. We never know when our last day going to be. And
yeah.
from the time that we get fired or we resign to the next time we get a job, I mean, a good paying job, insurance can help carry us to that next job. You know, sometimes we resign because we're in a situation that we need to get out of, thinking that we're going to get into another situation fast, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, you hit so many points. First and foremost, I encourage some of you all, a lot of you all, because I have a lot of clients that do have government jobs. For those that are not in the DC, Maryland area, in this area, a lot of clients that I have are government contractors or government workers. And so a lot of them, when I go to these houses to help them out, a lot of them will hit me with the same jargon. Hey, Maurice, I'm good because I got something through my job.
Right.
All right. And especially if you're a contractor or if you work for an outside entity type job, if you lose the job, most likely that insurance policy will not carry over. So you got to start all over again.
Wow.
And you're sharing with your other employees. So you say, hey, Mr. Hunt, I'm good. I got it. I got life insurance through my job. All right. And I'm only paying $4.59. Well, you multiply that times all the employees, and all of you all are paying to the pot for that life insurance policy. Now, I will give you some statistic, and I'm trying not to bore you, but all those policies that you have through your job, first and foremost, are owned by your company. You don't own it. And only 4% on a statistic level, only 4% of insurance policies through jobs are paid out. 4% are only paid out in the time of a loss. So yeah, you have something, but it doesn't really pay out. So you kind of want something of your own. You hit another thing, but before we do that, I want to answer Michael Reed. You asked about what about policies with cash value. Yes, there are whole life policies that have cash values, and if you're young, I would love to talk to you about another policy called index universal life policies that are more geared towards earning more than just cash value. You're earning higher interest on your policy because, see, when you go to your favorite bank, who, let me give you another education, all banks are owned by insurance companies. All of them are owned by insurance company. But when you go to your favorite bank, they're going to smile in your face. Hey, Mr. Hunt, if you open up this checking, we're going to give you this savings, and we're going to give you 0.08%. Yay. And I'm sitting there like, I got some bigger products that will give me 5 to 14% interest on my money. So how did all of this apply? When I go and do a wedding, when I go and do a banquet, when I go and play for 3 or 4 church events, when I go and play for an artist and I travel, all right, they're already paying for your travel expenses. So I'm hearing from the grapevine they don't pay as well. But let me get off that. But you make your money, all right. What are you doing with your money? You can put some of that money up into an insurance policy that you will not have to worry about any losses. But that's another thing. I don't want to veer off, but you have all these options. Another point you just brought up, Mr. Carter. I am married right now with a beautiful wife that I found, and the Lord basically solidified. We've been married for now going on 17 years. We have no problems because the Lord put us together. All right. And I have 4 beautiful kids. My main concern about me having life insurance, and I got to be real and straight up with you all, I'm going out traveling church to church, helping these churches out. I'm supporting a lot of my musicians. So some of y'all that's on there, sometimes you'll see me out in the crowd because I'm supporting you, and I love you all as musicians. So I'm supporting you, and I'm getting my musician fix on that, and I'm enjoying the concerts. All right. And so as I'm doing all this traveling, if I were to get into a car accident, and like, mind you, I said I'm married with kids. All right. Do I have life insurance? That will be the first question. Will my wife have to come out with $20,000 just to have a good funeral? Or would they have to do a GoFundMe? And I'm trying to think of worst case scenarios. I got 4 kids. How quickly will my wife remarry? Because she's desperate. Desperate in the sense of, I know my wife got a good job and she's secure, but she needs extra income, and any man will come in to play and say, hey, look, sis, I want to marry you and blase, blase. They get married. But what if that man don't love my kids? So I just think about stuff like that. If I have an insurance policy and my wife have at least 200 grand, 300 grand, where she'll be able to sustain the house, she'll be able to sustain her job, it's not missing out on groceries for the first 5 or 6 years with 200 grand, she slowly will be able to accept any man that comes in, and my children are taken care of. So those are some examples that I think about after all that traveling I'm doing. Is my wife taken care of, my family taken care of, and I don't want her just to accept any man because of money.
Oh, you talking real good.
Yeah.
I try to have them conversations in my house, and of course, nobody wants to have them,
Yeah.
but they're necessary conversations when you demand a household that you need to have, and those things I worry about all the time, and I make sure, I got all my ducks in a row to make sure that things will go smoothly because, if I were to, if the Lord should call me home today or tomorrow, my wife is, she's vibrant and beautiful. If the Lord should bless her again, I don't want her to have any problems. I don't want her to I want everything to be taken care of. I want my children to be taken care of. I want, I want to, what they call, I want to rest in peace.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want any problems. And so insurance can definitely help those situations. Y'all, we talking with insurance broker Maurice Hunt. He is really, really, really breaking off some good knowledge here. If you have a question you'd like to ask, Brother Churchwell, I see you on here. Thank you for chiming in. I know he does insurance as well. He's from one of the churches I play at, Mount Sinai Baptist Church.
Yes. Yeah.
I see you, Wayne Brooks. God bless you. A couple other people. Please share this, y'all, especially with young musicians, older musicians.
Yes.
We ain't got long to stay here. If something's going to take us out, and we need to be ready. We need to be ready. And
yeah,
while we're here, we can use insurance to enjoy ourselves and live a fruitful, quality life. We're church musicians. That and alone ought to scare the heck out of all of us. Because we have no guarantees. I don't care what church you're at, at any time, unless you have a very, very solid contract. And even when that contract is up, that's your time. That's your any time. And anytime things can turn around and twist around, and you and I can be sitting out trying to find other work. That's why it's so important to have multiple streams of income. Yes. Insurance can play a role, can be another stream of income and security at the same time. Yes. So, Brother Hunt, how can they get in contact with you? I'm gonna put your number. I'm gonna put your information up here.
Awesome. Of course, you can search me on Facebook, Maurice Hunt, and you can directly message me on there. My office phone number is 301 660 5665.
So 660-5665?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
I'm putting it up there now so people can see. Y'all.
And I also, again, if you can find me on Facebook, you can message me. That's another good way I want to be able to answer. I do have a website also, but most of the time people respond mostly through Facebook, especially my musician friends. It's easier to just catch me messenger. I respond to that just about as fast as I do any other medium. But this was a great conversation. There's more to insurance than the little bit that we talked about too. Right. I don't know how much time we got, but there's so much more that y'all can use this as a medium. And I thank God for you having me on here talking about that too. That was another reason why I'm doing insurance, is because I am a musician. And yes, I had some government contractor. I was working at the Pentagon. I was working at every base in the DC area, making the military ID cards for the military as a contractor. And I was also a full-time musician at my home church, New Community Church of God in Christ. But I wasn't a cubicle guy. I just want to be out and about. And so the opportunity came for me to get my insurance license. So now I'm able to, on the days that I'm not musician resting, I'm able to go out and help a couple families and I get paid quite well just by having my license, and it still doesn't affect my practicing time. I can actually make more practice. I need to be doing more practicing, and I can make to all the rehearsals. I have the ability to do extra stuff because I have my license. And one more other thing, I'm able to stay home and save a mortgage payment, which is called daycare. All right, my fourth child, just waiting on her to turn 6 o'clock. I mean, turn 6 years old, and she'll be into that elementary school, and that will free me up even the more. But I just thank God for that. I don't know how much other time I have. I have so much I can offer to share with you. One of the companies that I have offers college scholarships. Not-for-profit company offers college scholarships, meaning if you got any children that's getting ready to graduate from high school, they can apply for college scholarships up to $8,000 a year. Another one, if you need a lawyer or if you need help with your finances. Yeah, you're making the money, but you're terrible with your finances. This one insurance company that I want to try to get as many musicians with have their own financial department. You can call them and receive financial help. That's the part that I'm more concerned about, because we're praising God, asking God for deliverance, and most of your praise is not really full, true praise, because in the back of your mind, you're worrying about that bill that's due. Well, what if you had people that can help you with your finances? I have an insurance company that can help you with that. If you need lawyer fees while going to your next gig, you incurred a traffic ticket. All right. I have access to lawyers at a discounted rate through this insurance company that they'll be able to take care of that and get those points off your tickets. All right. Or points off your license. We have competitive scholarships. I have a cousin, two cousins, by the way, they're brother and sisters. The brother has his own church in Columbia, Maryland. He applied for a grant to this insurance company and received $2,000 so he can feed the homeless during Thanksgiving. The sister turned around and said, I want to copy the same thing because my father's church is in Baltimore. She did the same thing, won $2,000, and they used it the Saturday prior to Christmas of 2019 to give out to the whole community boxes of hats, underwears, T-shirts. So they have community grants. Here's one. This company, if I pass away, and let me just use this as an example. I told you, married with 4 kids. If I pass away, my wife pass away due to the coronavirus, let's just use that right now, and my parents decide to keep all 4 of the kids, because they're under 18, this insurance company will pay my parents $900 a month per child until they're 18. $900 a month per child until they're 18. Because you already know, if you take on extra people, water bill is going up, heat and gas bills going up, just the groceries alone, that's another car bill in itself. All right. But the insurance companies that will do that. So there are so much that you can benefit off of having insurance regarding taking care of your legacy. I want to also, because I got 4 children, I got a couple extra policies now that will kind of break them off nice. All right. Not only the burial will be taken care of, but I was able to follow the Bible and leave a legacy for my children and my children's children in that type, in that same way. So there's so much, but I'm able to answer any questions. Please just message me, and I'll be able to try to get back in touch with all of you all that need just education.
Yeah.
Also.
Well, y'all, you heard it, and there's much more. Contact him, hit him on Facebook, or you can dial the number that's on the screen. And Maurice is a working functional musician and producer and artist, and he is also an insurance broker. So he's working his multiple streams and helping us at the same time, and we need it. This is high time to be thinking about. We're going to go into a recession, possibly. There's a lot going on in our country.
Oh my
And
gosh.
insurance is going to play a big role. And so this broadcast is timely for everybody, including myself, Me and my wife were just sitting down this morning trying to think about reordering our lives so that we can make sure that we take advantage of what's happening now and down the road, securing ourselves, our children for the future. It's not the time to be sitting back in retreat. You got to press ahead and put things in place so that your life can be recession proof. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are you still there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here.
While you were saying that, I'm pointing to this phone because your phone, every time I open up my phone, you were able to see the stock market crashing. It was all this week, it was in the red.
Absolutely.
All of last week, it was in the red. So the question, those that have 401ks, 403bs, TSPs, how much money did you lose last week? How much money did you lose yesterday due to the coronavirus? How much money did you lose? And not to brag, this is not to brag, okay? But I have my money into a vehicle where I did not lose not one penny. And those are called index universal life policies. When the market crashes, it just levels. When it rises, I get money.
Yeah.
All right. So there's vehicles out there for you all. I just want to, this is so much a ministry. This is not just a Maurice want to get paid off of you all. This is a ministry. I'm tired of my brothers and sisters not having what they have. We're going on Facebook. Oh my gosh, my loved one is gone. Oh, my boy, he's gone. He was a phenomenal singer. He was a phenomenal musician, right? And the family's doing a GoFundMe. He was a phenomenal musician. But when was the last time all of us, since that person passed away, checked on the spouse and the kids?
Right.
Are they still living in the same lifestyle that they were living when he or she was alive? So these questions have to be had. I also want to just throw this plug in, and I thank you again, Philip. I also do church presentations. Let me get in front of that bishop, that apostle, that super apostle. I'm just exaggerating, but you know, I do church presentations because I want to get the whole church community taken care of. All right. And when the families are taken care of, then they can say, I have enough money to pay a musician $200 or $300 to play at this funeral.
Right.
All right. So there's so many things you can do with insurance, but y'all just hit me up. Hit me up on Facebook Messenger.
Well, thank you so much, man. And of course, you know, we'll get back, you know, and do some more about this a little later on down the road. You know, when hopefully things will calm down with with all this with our country's events right now. But thank you so much for joining me, for giving us this tidbit of information. Y'all hit up Maurice Hunt. He's a good dude. Known him for a couple of years now. He also has a Sounds of DMV mass choir out here in Charles County, and so he's a man of his word. His father's a great man of God. New Community Church of God in Christ. So hit him up. Let's get the ball rolling. Maurice, thank you so much, man. God bless.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I hope to hear from all of you all soon. Let's just take care of ourselves. All right.
Peace, everybody.
All right. Take care.